up, guys? RJ Savage, ifbbpro Classic Physique here. I'm here with my man, the Torture Room. So he came from Vegas, and he worked on me earlier this week, Monday, and tortured me. So now I'm going to torture him. We're out here in Franklin at Carbon Performance, the new biggest, sickest gym here in Nashville. The new re-grand opening is going to be next week. But tonight, what we're going to do, I'm going to run him through one of my workouts. We're going to hit shoulders, and basically, what we're doing, we're not leaving anything in the tank. So we're going to empty the tank on every set we do. We're not going heavy, just slow and control, and try to make every rep look the same. So follow along. Let's go.
Now, a lot of people know the Torture Room Guy. I'm not very big into training. I more like to help athletes. I love to fix athletes. So I wanted to take this opportunity after working with Pro Classic Physique guy RJ Savage. I'm like, dude, run me through a workout. What is a pro bodybuilder's workout? So everybody out there knows that the Torture Room not only knows what you guys go through, but can also fix you. So we'll see if I survive this one, people. Dude, this is a nice machine. I feel it direct on the belt. Yeah,
the reason I like machines, man, a lot of people have a lot of trouble activating their medials when they're training and doing side laterals. So here it's already in a fixed position, so it makes it a whole lot easier to feel it.
That was a direct hit, straight to the delts.
Straight to the delts.
One thing I like about this machine, I haven't used this machine in a while. Something that happens with people who do a lot of side lateral movements, I find as a massage therapist that it's usually the muscle in the forearm that taxes the side delt. And with this, it took all that completely out. It was directly on the delt.
Yep.
So I love this machine.
Yep. Here we go. Getting them warmed up, baby.
I still got the blood flow in my delts on the first set. These bodybuilder workouts ain't no joke. Oh man. And we just started.
The goal is get as much blood in there as possible.
Right?
Sir. Oh man.
Oh, good set, good set.
All right.
Oh, man.
So what we're gonna do, basically it's straight through, 3 full working sets.
Okay.
So this next set, I'm gonna increase the weight. And then as I get through and I start to feel like I'm coming to failure, I want you to give me a little force, a little help. Okay, so just right underneath the elbows. I'm just gonna take it until I can't no more. Okay. All right. All right, give me a little help. Keep going. One more. Nice. There we go.
I kind of want to tap out, but you always got to do. You got to be a man of your word. That's the thing. Got to be a man of your word.
He tortured me on Monday. Now he's getting it.
He's traumatized by this.
If he wouldn't have worked on me Monday, I wouldn't be able to hit shoulders today.
Right. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, Miguel. Here we go. Now we're working. Now we're working. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Up. Yep. Up. 2 more. Let's go. Up. Yep.
Last one.
Last one. Get up here and hold it. Hold it. Fight me on the way down. Fight me on the way down.
Oh man. Woo. Oh man. Am I big yet? Am I big yet?
Exercise 2, rear delts. Elbow drive. It's all in the elbows. Let the elbows do the work.
Especially this one, I really haven't done it, so I'm sure some of these workouts are going to be very new to me. But why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I really always want to understand what bodybuilders go through when they train, and every athlete trains so differently. So today we're doing a lot of burnout sets, everything's to failure. Some athletes don't train that way, so I always like to understand what the body's going through, how the muscle, the dynamics of the muscle is working, so that way I can fix them later.
Looks pretty. Let's go. Squeeze.
Jesus. Oh my God. Now, we're up to the 70s here. Oh man. This 3 sets?
Yeah.
Burn out in 3 sets. And let me tell you, my rear delts, they feel super pumped, man. They feel super pumped.
Everyone till failure.
Oh man. Look at that delt right there. Right. As I've been performing this workout, seeing that he gets a full extension down and contracting up, at this position, I start to notice that the paraspinal muscles down here get way overstretched. So if you use too much weight, you could pull low back muscles and get tension here, which will cause tension up in between the shoulder blades. So I always like to work the paraspinal muscles, even though somebody's coming in with a shoulder issue. You just have to understand why it's there and how they got it there.
Come on. Well, let's go. Give me 3. Give me 3. Let's go. Up. Yep. 2 more. Last one. Hold it. Get a squeeze. Nice. Good set, bro.
As he says, like all in the elbows, pulling those elbows out. It's really taxing that muscle right here, which is a rotator cuff muscle, teres minor, teres major. And that's really, if that gets too tight, it'll definitely limit shoulder mobility. So it's one muscle I always like to target to open up the shoulder.
The third exercise is going to be front delts. So I'm going to put an attachment on. I'm going to do front presses in the front. Front delts.
Yeah?
So we're going to hit front presses.
Front presses. This workout here real quick, and you can relax it there, it targets a lot of the upper fibers of the pec, really puts a lot of stress on that anterior delt. But if you notice, the forearm and the bicep stay contracted all the whole time. This is the mechanics stabilizer targeted muscle.
Up and forward a little bit.
Up and forward. If we take a look back here, look what happens right here. Again, even though it's a forward motion, this muscle right here is the posterior serratus muscle. This is gonna get taxed. And that muscle helps that shoulder blade glide up and back. So the serratus muscle is something I really love to hit during a massage working on these guys to help with shoulder mobility, because the shoulder blade has to glide. I know not to ego lift trying to train with the pros, but
Up, slightly forward.
up, slightly forward. Okay.
I don't call them torture room for nothing. They'll go through it too. Now we're working. Now we're working. Let's go.
Two more.
Up. Nice. All right.
Now, would this be a workout even good during a growth season, or is this mostly for like?
Absolutely, no. This is actually one of my staples that I like to keep in here, man. I like using cables for a lot of reasons, but there's constant resistance on there. Keeping that time under tension the whole time, man, is what works for me. Like I said, every pro bodybuilder, every bodybuilder is gonna have their own way of working out. And it's not always gonna be the same, but it's what works for me. And I use it with my clients and it works for them. Some it does, some it doesn't, but again, it's just person specific. So that's one of my exercises that I like to do for shoulders.
I noticed instantly that as soon as you grab onto it, you feel the resistance, but it was low impact on the elbow.
So again, this was just our second set, and we're gonna hit one more time. It's only gonna be 3 sets, and it's taking it to absolute failure. So everything we have, we're emptying it out in the tank. Like I said, everybody's different. Some people wanna do 4 sets, some people wanna do 6 sets. Find what works for you and execute it that way. I'd rather do 3 sets of failure than 4 to 6 sets of 10 to 15 reps. But again, there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's just what I like to do and what helps me.
One thing I've noticed since everything is going to failure, And one thing a lot of bodybuilders, their main goal is to push blood into the muscle. Go into failure, obviously you're gonna get there a lot quicker. One thing that happens on the flip note of that I look at as a massage therapist for athletes like RJ, is lactic acid sets in a lot faster. That's why you get into these burnout sets. You start feeling that resistance more and more when you hit that 15 to 20 reps.
Yep.
So lactic acid is gonna start to cause scar tissue to form in the muscle. So getting good tissue work to clean it out so you can keep performing in the gym at optimum level, hitting new PRs and growing the way you want to grow. And I plateaued. You know, I'm doing extra sets.
Can't
you
grow
know,
anymore.
my coach said do another shoulder day, really tax it out. The muscle tissue is holding on to too much that lactic acid buildup.
Yeah.
And once you clean it out, fresh blood flows in, you start seeing that muscle just amplify so much more.
Oh man, I feel it already. Like when you worked on me on Monday on my back, I didn't train Monday, and then Tuesday I trained back, and the pump was crazy and minimal. I didn't even have to do a lot, right? I had so much restriction going on. You worked out a lot of stuff, so my back workout, it wasn't even crazy. I deadlifted, but I didn't go over 225. I just did for reps, and my pump was nuts. In that video, obviously, you've seen that I tagged you. And then today already, like I'm feeling my shoulders already because he obviously hit my shoulders and my upper pec too. So
he's all veined out.
Getting a good pump.
Getting a good pump.
So getting the work done, man, will give you some of the craziest pumps in the gym. We're gonna do a drop set on this last one, okay? So I'm gonna take this to failure, and then we're gonna drop from 100 to 80, and then from 80 to 60. Leaving nothing in the tank.
80. Do it. Come on, one more. Good. 60. Two more. One, two. Good. Nice. How you feeling, RJ?
Good.
What a bodybuilder always says. They feel good doing this.
The pump. You know, the pump.
All right, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try the RJ's drop set. So we're going with the 100 pound resistance, 80 and 60. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit this, but I'm gonna pray just to survive this one.
Let's go.
Let's do it. You gotta be in the right mindset for this. Gotta be in the right mindset. Bodybuilders are crazy.
Get locked in, baby.
But I love working with them.
Let's go.
Oh, that's heavy.
Let's go. Come on. Come on. 10. Come on. You got 15 before you can drop. 4 more. 3 more. 2. Last one.
Arms are getting a little shaky.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Yep. That's it, baby.
Come on.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Come on. 3. 2. Last one. Nice.
Man.
How was that?
I need the ambulance. That's what I need. The shoulders feel pumped though. And I don't feel no strain in the joints. I love this exercise.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
Keeping everything off the elbows and the forearms, man.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing for me too. I got small joints, man. So like lifting heavy, obviously I got to grip harder too. So a lot of times certain exercises, man, I'll wear out my forearms before I do the muscle that I'm targeting. So I try to also be specific about the exercises I pick for that reason right there. Let's hit an overhead press, and then we're gonna do a couple little accessory finishers. There.
Yeah.
You think you lift heavy until you get on the Arsenal strength stuff.
I think they build them preloaded.
Yeah.
Preloaded
quarters,
100 pounds.
Quarters instead of plates.
Right,
So
RJ,
number
what
4
are we
exercise.
doing
4 exercise. We're gonna do overhead press. Again, every set till failure. And then after that, we'll do a couple of little accessory work. Just some finishers, some cool little finishers I like to do.
Again, doing shoulder presses, if you notice, that muscle's constantly working right there. That's the serratus muscle. It lets that shoulder blade, again, glide front and back. So, constant tension here. The elbow joint's moving like crazy, but it's targeting the delts. So, He's getting too creative.
20 full, and then static hold 10, static 10.
Man,
Let's go, baby.
we'll see if I can do this. So, but understanding what bodybuilders go through, what any athlete goes through. So, being the torture room guy, I always want to understand every athlete that comes into my room, whether it's a bodybuilder, a bikini fitness model, an MMA fighter, a power lifter. They all do strength and conditioning training, but they all target the muscle differently. So being the torture room, I wanted to create something so it hits all athletes from any level, from amateur to pro. And I think I signed my death warrant signing up with RJ for a workout. This is for the viewers here. This is for all my fans to say, hey, can Miguel be a bodybuilder? I'm gonna show you guys I can.
Let's go.
20?
20.
Easy 20.
Easy 20. 3, 2, hold one at the top. Let's go. 10, 8, 9, 10.
Man, that was brutal, man. That was brutal. That really taxes the upper fibers of the pec, I've noticed. At least it did with me. So if a lot of my videos, you guys might see me work right underneath that clavicle and doing that internal, external rotation of the arm, digging into the upper fibers of the chest. But it's to work on more muscles that aren't exposed right away. But everybody who does overhead presses, bench presses, things like that, it's really gonna stress out that tissue.
We're gonna shoot for 20 again. 10 full, 10 partials.
10 full, 10 partials?
Yep.
Oh man.
If we got more, we got more. If you don't make it, you don't make it.
Here's one thing a lot of amateur bodybuilders always ask me. It's like when should athletes do burnout sets? When should they switch up their training? And can you still grow if you do only burnout sets?
Absolutely. Again, now that's, everybody's body works and operates differently, man. For me, heavyweight, I don't grow. Volume is what I grow with, and obviously, my metabolism's been crazy, so I naturally stay lean year round, so I have to really push the food, man. And for me, sometimes my calories get a little dirty because that's what works for me. But at the end of the day, I totally believe you can build muscle, volume training. I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is to get as much blood in the muscle as possible, so then after that, you got to feed it, man, and recover. So okay. I don't think you got to figure out what works for you. So
okay,
yeah.
All right. So you can still grow during burnout sets. You can still grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's one thing a lot of people ask me. A lot of the new upcoming bodybuilders, still in the amateur ranks, maybe in the novice division, wanting to find out the new latest and workouts to do. It's like, should I train heavy all the time? Should I go? When should I go to burnout? So
here's the thing, man. As long as you can control the weight. If you're lifting heavy but momentum's pushing and you're swinging and swaying and all that, you don't need to be lifting that heavy. You need to drop the weight. Okay. You need to be able to control the weight. So control the weight and go to failure, the muscle's gonna grow.
And that's one thing that I try to mention to a lot of upcoming athletes. If you go too fast, too hard, where you're pushing too much weight, that's when you're gonna put yourself at greater risk for an injury.
Absolutely.
You're gonna, like you said, you're gonna swing a little bit in the motion. You might tweak something in your low back, even though it was a bicep curl or something like that. Yep. Or, it always happens either in the low back or the shoulders get blown out. It's very rare it's the knee or the ankle, but when you start pushing too heavy, too fast, because you just are too eager to grow right away. Because every guy wants to be the monster in the gym. Yeah, every guy wants that. And guess what? It's not a rat race here. It's a marathon. Being a bodybuilder, you gotta live the lifestyle day in and day out, and it's a slow pace, but muscle grows. It will get there in time. 1 year, and that's why a lot of athletes are taking progress photos from 1 year to the next year, or maybe every 6 months, looking at their growth. But pushing it too fast, too hard, you're definitely gonna end up in the torture room or another place like the torture room, and you're just gonna be in so much pain. And that's not the goal. The goal is to put you through pain. The goal is to keep you performing to optimum level in the gym and keep growing, hitting PRs and getting your physique where you want it to go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good work. Woo. This is definitely not easy, people. It's definitely not easy. I know sometimes it's hard for people to have a training partner, but if you can find somebody that will motivate you in the gym, definitely link up with somebody like that, because I know I wouldn't do this on my own.
Most of the time, I am alone. Halfway. 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 2, 1. Nice, dog.
Oh, man, I saw Jesus a little bit.
This is gonna be our little finisher for rear delts. So we're gonna do cable crossover, and then we're gonna finish with some around the worlds with dumbbells after this, and that'll be our shoulder exercise.
All right, so I've never done these workouts before, so this is totally new waters, new territory for me.
Let's go. 14. Now we're working. 15. Give me 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, man, I felt that one. Okay, this is what I'm noticing here, and this is what I think about even when somebody comes to me saying that they have shoulder tension here. Look at what's getting worked. The forearm, that radial brachialis, that tricep is extending right there. These teres muscles are constantly getting pinched by that tricep there. And what's stabilizing all this? That infraspinatus. So even though this is targeting the rear delt, the arm is in constant lateral flexion. So these guys are constantly working from infra, teres, tricep, radial brachialis. And those are the mechanics to get these muscles to work. So when people come into my room saying that they're having trouble with the shoulders, doing side lateral flexion or anything else, I look at these muscle groups that I was just talking about. Infraspinatus, teres muscles, tricep, radial brachialis. And that should release tension there.
We're gonna take 2 dumbbells. You wanna go light, 10 to 15s, depending on how strong you are. But obviously you wanna get full range of motion from inside all the way to the top, all the way down. You're gonna be targeting every part of the shoulder.
If you notice something, how the muscle tissue is working with the pec major, the serratus muscle, the muscles here in the back, all to get full range of motion and blood just into the shoulder. Things that I think about when I need to work on an athlete who comes in with shoulder tension, I have to look at the posterior side and the anterior side and see how it really plays out with them under torque and tension. I know a lot of massage therapists don't have the ability to be in a gym and train with their clients, or even be in a gym to even analyze what their clients go through if they deal with bodybuilders, especially at the pro level. But looking at videos, seeing what they go through, having them explain to you, hey, I was doing this, so when if I was never in a gym and he said I was doing around the world and I felt a kink somewhere, it's good to always know what it is and they explain it to you. And it's always good to know the anatomy and how it works from active muscle groups and non-active muscle groups, which ones stabilize and which ones they're really targeting. As a massage therapist, especially being in the torture room, trying to understand what these guys go through just to release one muscle from it being so inactive, it's hard work, but that's why they're the pros. All right, we're around the world, palms outward. What this automatically does is putting tension on these are called common flexor muscles right here, and it's putting tension on that lower head of the bicep right there. So depending on what weight you pick, you're automatically gonna start tension here. But with range of motion, it's gonna work the shoulder. Coming into the torture room, if somebody had to tell me about their shoulder issues, if you notice, I always work on the forearm, release tension off the bicep, and then it's gonna give me access to that shoulder joint there.
5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2. Yep. 1. Yep. All right, give me 5 parcels. Come right here. Last one, hold it.
One thing that's always good, especially if you're in like always in a gym, always training, being an athlete, sometimes when you know it's not for you, if you find out one day, you're like, I don't know if I want to ride this to the end. It's always nice to give back to the community. So RJ, obviously, he's a pro bodybuilder, but he's also training people. He's building people's lifestyle better, getting them into good habits, good discipline routines. I decided to go the other route and help athletes and everybody else who wants to be in the gym by making sure their body stays nice, balanced and stress-free, and muscles are activated so they can keep training. It's all about whatever avenue you get into. You know, being in a gym made me who I am today, and you always want to give back to that community. You always do, because people need guidance, people need help. Everybody in the gym right here,
the younger generation's coming up.
Yeah, they don't always know. They're looking for people. They're looking up to somebody, whether it's the guy on YouTube, whether it's the newest and latest pro, whether it's that healed trainer in the gym, or whether it's a massage therapist, anybody. They're all looking for guidance. So always give back to the community that really helps you out.
Always good seeing my boy, man.
Oh, yeah.
Until next time, we'll be in Vegas. We'll hit a few posters for y'all real quick, though.
All right. If you're ever in Nashville, come to Carbon Performance Gym
in Franklin, Tennessee.
Get a workout in with my boy RJ. Check out the facility. It's huge. It's still under renovation. They got a whole second part of the gym. Really nice facility, great people here, good equipment, good place to visit when you're in Nashville. You know, being the Torture Room guy, I love the fact that working with athletes like RJ, pro bodybuilders, and as they pose, just go ahead and close their poses. I'm fascinated with how the body moves. You know, even though this is supposed to be a front shot, you know, muscles in the back are activating. This gets stretched open, this gets crunched up. I really like to see these athletes really strive and succeed in their field. So I like to understand the body, even as it flows, not just with pain and symptoms. And one thing they look for is they want to find the best way to display their muscles. And that's why a lot of these athletes will have posing coaches. But me as a massage therapist, when I want to see them pose, I want to see how the muscle moves. It lets me understand which muscle is overactive, underactive, if they have crossbody syndrome. But the funnest part about the Torture Room is we can even expand more muscle tissue. So massage doesn't always have to be about pain and symptoms. If RJ or anybody else says, my lats ain't flaring out, guess what? There are techniques in massage that can bring out more muscle tissue, more volume in the lats, in the delts, in the biceps, bring more separation, more striation, and even bring out a thicker chest as well. So massage, you can play a lot with massage. It's not always about pain and symptoms, especially working with bodybuilders. You can really get that muscle to display even better. And I think that's pretty cool. The Torture Room, Dragon's Lair Gym, Las Vegas, Nevada, Flex Lewis. Thanks for letting me come out here, Flex. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Miguel, the Torture Room guy. And I'm currently right now in Carbon Performance Gym, just outside Nashville in the Franklin area. And I'm here working with some athletes here in this area that it was one of the best places I like to go. The gym is really nice. They set me up really good. I had my own room. So the Torture Room, if people are just new to my channel or don't know what's going on, it's massage therapy. Even though I target mostly athletes, it is designated for everybody. And a lot of people always want to know, do you work with non-athletes? Yes, I do. I work with all people, all different conditions, whether you've been in an accident, surgery, you know, you strained your muscles in the gym or anywhere else in life. So I think massage therapy plays a really, really big role in keeping people healthy, keeping people active, and letting you keep doing what you want to do in life, whether it's a hobby, a lifestyle, things like that. So I know it's scary hearing Torture Room, and what is a Torture Room? But it is massage therapy, and I travel all over the US, and I visit gyms from West Coast all the way to East Coast, trying to help more and more people, trying to network with more and more people. Why do I do this? A lot of people ask me why. Why don't you just stay in Las Vegas and just market yourself there and work on that community? When I became a massage therapist, I really wanted to help a lot of people. And what I mean by that is I noticed that there's a lot of people that have limitations, and you know, whether it's from an injury, an accident. And why did I become this way? I got injured one time also, and I wasn't able to move for a couple months myself. I injured my spine very, very bad, and it got me to not train as much. Luckily now I can, just through doing some recovery work and yoga. But when I went to this, and I've said it before, you got to give back to the community that really helped you out, and being in a gym is really helpful for a lot of people. So when I say I want to help a lot of people from all over the place, and right now it's just America, hopefully it's in other countries, but I want to let people know that massage therapy is very helpful. And I know a lot of people say, I've been to massage, it didn't do anything for me. And it's not on you, it's not your fault. That's on the massage therapist. They just weren't paired up to deal with the issues you were. And that's one thing that I strive myself to do. Now, have I reached that goal? I always wake up saying I haven't, because I don't know every condition out there, and I don't know who I'm gonna meet on any given day. But if there's one thing I do, is I always educate myself with new conditions, new accident. When people get into certain accidents, I want to know about that. When people get into a new sport, everything like that. That's why I was training today with RJ. I always want to understand my client, and I think that's the first step. Understand your client when you want to work on them. As a massage therapist, you have to. You cannot just say, hey, I know how to do this modality, I know how to do ART and trigger point. Sometimes that's not what your client needs. They need you to listen to them first. And after that, you can really decipher what's going on with them, why it's happening, and how you can approach that treatment. Because not every treatment is always going to be the same. And it's very difficult to do. And I know a lot of massage therapists just kind of want to stay in their own little bubble, stay in their own community, just work on their clients that they see repetitive time and time again. Complacency happens with that. And one thing that happens in the torture room is one time today I'm in Nashville, next week I'm gonna be in Vegas, week after that I'm gonna be in Seattle. Like, I just go everywhere. And what does that do? It keeps my mind fresh, it keeps the treatment fresh, and it keeps me eager to keep learning more and more and more about the people that I work with. Because one day I'm working with the bodybuilder, the next day I'm working with the bikini model and everything in between. Next thing you know, I'm working on somebody who has been in a massive car accident. Next thing you know, anything. So as a massage therapist, the number one rule I think is understanding your client and always keep your education at a peak. As a massage therapist, I know that the one thing we learn the most is muscle tissue. And I try to tell a lot of other massage therapists and athletes, or anybody who's on my table, your massage therapist that you work with has to understand muscle tissue, not just in the state it's in, but why it's there. So whether it's overactive, whether it was strained, whether it was torn, whether you had a surgery, all of it is going to be under a different state, whether it's fibrotic tissue, knotted up, whether it's taut, whether it's flaccid. All that is going to tell the massage therapist what treatment needs to get done and what needs to happen with you so you can go back to doing what you love to do, whether it's a lifestyle, a hobby, or anything else in between. So in the torture room, I really like to understand muscle tissue. It's like I have to understand blood flow, oxygen consumption levels, what happens with red blood cells, white blood cells. All this is a lot of medical jargon that I know that, it's the boring stuff that a lot of people don't want to know, but it's things that we have to know as a massage therapist. And it's one thing the torture room always keeps reading up on, because I never know who's going to come in my room. I never know what condition they're going to be in. And I always ask them, what's going on with you? When did it happen? Why did it happen? And as soon as palpation starts, when we start working, it lets me understand. The body starts telling me the story of what's going on, what muscle is too stressed out, and hindering them from being just being active in what they love to do. So understanding muscle tissue is the number one thing. It's not understanding the modality. Don't always go for somebody who just says, oh, I know ART or I know trigger point work. Don't always just go for something like that. Go for somebody who knows and understands and is excited about learning the human body and the physiology of how it works. And that's when you're gonna find the right massage therapist for you. All right, that's a wrap here in Nashville. So I wanna give a shout out and a thanks to Carbon Performance, of Brent, the owner, who invited me out here and hosted me here this week. I had a great time here, met a lot of cool athletes, even got even went through a training session with one of the pros here, and even though that was amazing, I love it and it's great. So on to the next city, people.